All right, Sistas fans, believe it or not, but the episode All I Got, I actually watched it yesterday. And when I say watched it, I mean I only watched the parts that involve Andi, Leslie, Gary, and Jasmine. So pretty much the beginning, a big chunk of the back half, but that's it. Last week I said that, you know what, I think I'm done with Sisters simply because of the fact that I'm not really getting a return on my videos. By that I mean, like, my videos, despite the numerous amount that I've done, the views just aren't there. So I'm taking time to watch a 42-minute show, which should be 22 minutes instead, doing these videos, but I'm not really getting a lot of, views in return. So I could just be focusing my attention elsewhere. But for whatever reason, I don't know what the hell happened last week. Like, when I was about to give up on both that and the Oval because the Oval was going on a break. Yeah, Sisters blew up. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I actually went and checked, and Sisters was trending for like the first time on a Wednesday night since I don't remember when. So next thing you know, I look at the numbers on my channel, and the Sisters video I did last week, and I believe I did this video before the episode aired, because the previous week, I had done my episode review and I talked about how I watched the episode at double the speed because it was dragging, and then I did a trailer breakdown video that reached almost like 3,500 views, which is uncommon on Sisters. So then the video I did about will Jasmine and Andi team up against Gary, and I'm like, yeah, I did that video, I want to say right around the time before the episode aired. And that video is almost at 9,000 hits, and I'm like, what the heck? So in the video, I talked about the possibility of these two teaming up to take Gary down, take him for everything he's got. So I watched the episode. Holy crap, it was amazing. People were telling me, Jeremy, you got to watch the Oval. You got to watch Sisters. They're great. And I'm like, because remember around this time last week, I was prepping to go home on Thursday because of the whole car. It's like, okay, I got to go get my maintenance done, so I'll just chill at home. Then I'll go to a dealership and I'll come back over the weekend. So, yeah, I've been getting requests to do the video. So I did take notes. And maybe I will only do sister videos this way from now on. Just not even episode reviews. I'll just do videos talking about the Andi storyline because that's honestly been the only thing that's been my interest. Like, I love Sabrina. I think I've grown to love her more every episode. But the whole thing with Calvin, that could be settled with a full-on discussion with Calvin. Karen is topsy-turvy in between Aaron and Zach, and then the crazy ex-wife who killed herself. Danny's the comic relief. So Andy's like the only storyline I care about. So, wow. The episode starts off with Jasmine and Andi. Obviously, Jasmine being hostile to Andi. Leslie, who I will refer on and off as the private investigator, or just simply the PI. So if I say PI, I'm not saying TI. I'm referencing Leslie. Oh, yeah, and guys, I did see the tweets. People roasting Leslie because of the hair. And it's like, once again, Tyler Perry just doesn't know what to do with wigs. I don't really care about that. I was focusing more on the story. So, yeah, she wants Andi disbarred, fired, wants to trash Andi's name. She has some powerful media friends that can destroy her. And Andi's like, okay, as long as I don't have to sit through this bullshit, get the hell out of my office. So Leslie's like, no, you can all team up to destroy and take Gary for everything he's got. Obviously, Jasmine doesn't really want to do this. And Andi's like, so what's in it for me? And she's like, nothing. And I'm like, then why would I help you? And that's a very, very good point. Like, for example, if I know I've been caught doing dirty and you're going to destroy my reputation and career. Sorry. Spam call. I get those all the time. Ruin my career. But then your legal, or not legal assistant, because I was going to be the legal assistant, but your your PI says that, hey, I know a way we can all win in this situation. Why would I help you if I'm not going to get anything out of it, So get the hell out of my job. So basically, the PI was saying, like there'll be an affidavit. I could be wrong, but basically saying that, if you help Jasmine get Gary, then we won't sue you or the law firm. So that's a possible win-win. But in any case, Jasmine wants to know how Andi met Gary, and she tells a story. I was going to the store to get tea. I was wearing bunny slippers, and I think that's cute because remember, I live in Lynchburg, which is a college town for the most part, so it's not uncommon to see people in like a Target or Walmart or Kroger, in their sweatpants or slippers or whatever, just running to get a couple items because, like I live on a street where Kroger's literally across the street. So it's not uncommon. So, the flirting began. He said, "Oh, if I wasn't married," and then next thing you know, she's dressed up like 2 weeks later, and then, "Oh, you're beautiful," and then he pursued her for months until she finally caved in to go get coffee. And then next thing you know, Jasmine interrupts and then word for word says exactly what Gary told another woman. Some stories to women, he's married. Some stories, he's not married. And then freaking Andi talks about how Gary lied on Jasmine a lot about how she was sick and what was it, like not able to have more children or something along those lines. And Jasmine was visibly upset. And she found some stray earring in her bed at her house, and Andi was saying that she has never went over to the house, and she kind of breaks down saying, "I'm sorry." So was the earring hers or not? I don't think it was anyway. I could be wrong, but Jasmine wishes Andi an awful life and leaves the office. And the PI says that Jasmine wants to sue Andi, the firm, and have her disbarred. However, I will talk to her to try to calm her down. She didn't even want to meet with you in the first place, but I thought this meeting should happen. So, wow, there's a lot to break down there. But then we go to the back half of the episode where Leslie comes over to Andi's house. She's a lesbian. She's into women. She's flirting with Andi. Very uncomfortable, but Andi is attractive. But in any case, Leslie wants to help because all this is Gary's fault. And I love this because despite the flirting, Leslie knows Andi, the fact that she's a go-getter, she doesn't quit. And yeah, despite her flirting with her, this was a good scene to show that Leslie really wants to take Gary down. So Gary arrives and then, oh my goodness. So Andi says that, "Oh, Tina, could you go get the package out of the car?" I love that. It reminded me of when, Andi was playing Gary when the girls went to the back room when he came over when they were upset. So I did like this. I did like this a lot. So Andi's showing Gary the picture of all those different women, and then Jasmine shows up and he agrees to giving up everything as long as he can have Andi. Jasmine is of course furious, but here's where we get a freaking twist here. And when I say this twist, I'm not saying this makes Gary look like a good guy because you're the one who was cheating on your wife. He talked about how, "Jasmine, I'm not in love with you anymore. I love you as the mother of our children, but we've had 3 years of counseling. It isn't going to work out. I want Andi now." And then, like he said, "Here's the wallet. Here you go. I'm done. I'll give it all up as long as I have Andi." But then we find out some things that didn't line up. Like that girl who was seen at the airport was named, what was it, Gracie? That's Jasmine's sister. But even though Gary was able to explain that, and I believe he said that we went to go see your mother out of town, and it turns out she wasn't even sick. You're crazy. You're just coming up with all these lies and everything to get me. What's going on here? And then it's like, your whole family's crazy. I'm done with this. So that is, oh man, that was some interesting stuff. So is the PI making up stuff? Is the PI just not good at her job? Even though Gary explained the woman at the airport, that doesn't explain. Didn't we see like other different women in these photos? Like, how you didn't really explain that, Gary. I definitely would have been keen to hear how you explain. Like, wasn't there one with a white girl or something like that? Not to mention, Jasmine did say the one story that he told another woman, hence why at the beginning of the episode, she interrupted Andi and was able to fill in the blanks. So Gary didn't explain that. Then he left like, "Well, you should have told me all this was going on." Well, not really, because her job was on the line. And that was, even though Jasmine wasn't fully her client at the time, Andi was still deciding because of the conflict of interest. So yeah, she didn't really have to say anything. Not to mention this wasn't her business, but then again, she was the one messing around with a married man and got involved in this craziness. So Gary leaves. Jasmine doesn't want half. She wants everything, and she wants to have that bitch disbarred. So basically, yeah, this is not good. Wow. So Jasmine, I guess Leslie's going to try to calm her down because now is as good a time as any to try to take Gary for everything he's got. But at the same time, it's like now Jasmine's story is kind of, falling apart because we don't know what's fact and what's fiction. But at the end of the day, Gary's still a lying cheater because, he was still married to his wife. And obviously, Andi, it's like you literally got the idea that, you know, he only wanted you for legal reasons and to manipulate the divorce. That way she doesn't take Gary for everything, or Jasmine doesn't take Gary for everything he's got. So this is an interesting story that I'm actually hoping to see play out all the way. So whose earring was that? Was that really Andi's? I honestly don't think it was. I think it was another woman's. And I think one of the biggest complaints that people have had online about Jasmine is the fact that, okay, what the hell? Like, are you confronting all these other women the same way you're confronting Andi? And why are you only specifically going after her? It's like she's the one that could help you get everything Gary's got. So why are you treating her like trash? Yeah, I get it. She's so with your husband. But at the same time, you got to go after the man, not the woman or person that he was with. Like, for example, if I had a girlfriend and she was cheating, would I go for the guy or would I go for her? You know, that kind of thing. But leave your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you think things are going to play out? Will Leslie try to make another pass at Andi? Will Andi and Gary end up together? I did see the preview for next week. Honestly, I don't really care. I'm just going to watch those parts for Andi and whatnot. So, yeah. Are you fine with me only talking about the Andi and Jasmine stuff? Do you want me to continue doing full episode reviews? Yeah, let me know that kind of stuff in the comments. But to be honest, I'm only interested in the Jasmine and Andi stuff. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, and I will talk to you all in the next video.